What's going on, guys? Happy 4th of July. Welcome back to Pete's Carport. I wanted to do a quick video and a quick summary of a car that I just picked up. I did do a post, so if any of you guys saw that, you're going to also know by the title of the video which car I picked up. But what I haven't done yet is a walkthrough and an explanation of what needs to be done to get this car back on the road. So I'm going to do that in this episode, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and check her out. I'm going to do a full walk around. I'm going to show you guys the interior, and I'm going to talk about the features and some of the things that drew me to this car and the reason why I really wanted a 190E. So let's start with that. My passion for the 190E started when I was looking for a daily driving, fun car, and I got really into the 190E. And like any of you guys that have started doing that research, all the different variations, AMGs, the Evos, I'm sure there's even more variations out there. Fill me in, guys, because I know those of you that are enthusiasts of the 190E probably have your favorite engine size, your favorite style. When I saw this one listed, I said, that is exactly what I want. I want that body kit. I really liked the color, even though I knew it was basically destroyed and needed to be repainted. The body kit really sold me with the lowering springs that are on here. The rims, these are Renault rims. Now, a lot of this stuff needs to be redone. These rims are pretty damaged, but they're awesome because they fit the time. They're original, and these are actually very hard to find, but you can see here some of the deterioration that occurred, and I'm not even sure what that's from. It almost looks like salt got under the paint, but and it could have. But those should be able to be restored. Most of this car should be able to be restored fairly easy, and it's going to start with getting it running and then going from there. So let's go ahead and check out the inside, and I'll talk about some of the engine things that need to be done to get this thing on the road. So what drew me in on this part was not only the color of the interior, but this awesome kind of like tweed style cloth interior that you just don't see in Mercedes, because they typically go with leather, and they almost always typically go with an automatic. So those two things were the biggest selling points to me. As far as the actual structural part of the interior, I figured most stuff I can fix unless something is destroyed. There's rust holes, and I got very fortunate that the panels on this car are in very good shape, mainly due to the fact that this thing has been in Florida for almost all of its life. So let's talk about a little bit of the history, and I'm relating this from what I know from the person that I purchased it from. So this is a one-owner car. The gentleman was in the military. This was his dream car, and he ordered it from the factory and paid an additional fee to have it converted so he could ship it to the US. So this is a Euro Spec car with the conversion for US. And so if you look at the dash, this is one of the signs that it's a Euro Spec. There is no tachometer. There's a giant clock. The US Spec would have a tachometer with a smaller clock on the bottom. Of course, fill me in if I'm wrong on that. This is due to my research and also the gentleman that sold it to me, his research and passing that on. One of the other things is this does not have AC, only heat. And that was an option since this was a base model car. And it's from the 80s. So some of the negative things are definitely going to be the cracked windshield. I've already done my research on that, and I found a local shop that can replace that. In Florida, you can actually do a claim, but I don't think I'm going to, because that will drive the insurance up, and I don't have insurance on the car yet. So other thing is the cracks in the dash. I've already decided that I'm going to probably make some kind of custom cover and also fill those to keep them from getting even worse, and make a cover that can be removed, maybe something out of Alcantara or that kind of matches the style of this interior. Obviously there was an aftermarket radio that was taken out. We've got just a standard glove box here, and just some paperwork that's in here from the original owner, and kind of cool stuff there too. I love when I find that. It's funny, it's got the no smoking sign. And I don't know if this was spec'd for no smoking, but there are no ashtrays, and I don't know if that's a 190E thing or if that's just the spec of this car. So onto the door panels. They're all in okay shape, not perfect, but they can all be fixed and repaired. This one is in the trunk. and the other ones are intact. And let's take a look at the headliner, which is in very good shape. The sunroof works, all of the power windows work, and so those were big selling points to me, because that's kind of things that can be difficult to fix and become more of a hassle. Let's take a look at the back interior. The back seat is in absolute amazing condition. So what happened was, this gentleman brought this car over from Germany. He married a German woman, and he became unable to drive it due to his, he had an injury. So he parked it in his garage and would start it from time to time, and it sat for 20 years really without being driven. So it does ironically have high mileage. Let's go back to that. And I believe this is kilometers, so it's 262,000. And he probably did that in the 10-year time frame that he was actually driving this. After parking it in the garage, the guy that I bought it from picked it up. His in-laws were neighbors of this gentleman, and one day he said he talked to him, and the gentleman wanted to get rid of the car so it wouldn't rot. So I came along. I made an offer for $1,500. He was asking $5,000, but he had a lot of things apart because there were a lot of things that went bad from sitting. So what were those things? Basically, the cooling system was down, so he replaced the water pump, thermostat, and when I first went and looked at it, all that stuff was out. And so when I went back the second time, we were able to fire the car up. We're going to talk about that too. The fuel lines are actually being redone, and he ordered in those parts, and I'm working on that now. But the other thing is, I need to be able to find a radiator for this. So that has been kind of a troublesome thing, being that this is Euro Spec. This is a 2.0 liter, which is not a common engine. You typically have the 2.3 and the 2.6, and then so on, depending on the model. And this is a 5-speed manual, which is extremely rare in the United States. So it's a 2.0 gasoline with the 5-speed manual, and it's from 1985. My research said that that doesn't even exist, but according to the title and according to this gentleman, it does. And the only thing I can think of is that he might have ordered it in 84 or something along those lines, and I'm having difficulty finding some of the parts. Now, let's go around the outside of the car and talk about that as well, and we'll get back to the fuel system. So this has a really neat body kit. I am not sure if this is factory. All I know is the guy had it done probably after purchasing it. Maybe he had it done in Europe. It looks kind of dated to the original AMG styles. But once again, I am not totally familiar with the different body kits that you could get for this car from the factory, or even if this is a factory kit. The rims, like I said, are Renault rims, and these are really unique, and I hope to be able to restore these. They are original, and I think he ordered that with the car. And if he did, most likely this car came in this color. Anybody who knows more about that, please fill me in. I'm going to be doing as much research as I can. I really just wanted to get a full walk around video. I posted a picture of it. You guys seem to really like that, and I wanted to get this up on my channel so you guys can see the project that I'm working on right now. I absolutely am excited about this one because I've been looking for something manual that is classic and is going to be super fun, but also that is not so rare that I'd be afraid to drive it. So having this high mileage, fun car, easy to work on, small motor, my goal is to get this thing running and just have some fun with it. Maybe do some rally style things to it, because this was one of the original rally cars. And, you know, just spec it out for me, not to basically try to make it original and classic like I have all my other cars. My 420 SEL, that is going to be put back to its original spec. So that'll be my go-to classic, enjoyable car, whereas this will be my fun weekend classic style car. I also have the Austin Healey Sprite, but that's a whole different beast in itself. So let me know what you guys think. I fell in love with this car. Sorry I kind of rambled on there, but I wanted to fill you guys in on what's going on the channel, what cars are coming in. I know I've been buying up cars pretty damn quick. Wasn't my goals and intentions to keep buying. I just had to get this car while I could. I made an offer, he delivered it, and I didn't want to miss out on it. Real quick, I'm going to show you what's going on with the fuel system. So the lines had rotted away, and he went ahead and ordered in, I don't know if we can see that new line right there. I just made a custom bracket because this whole piece was falling down, and then I ordered in a fuel pump. He had already ordered in a fuel filter, and we're just hoping that the accumulator on the end there is good. And I think once we get all that mounted up, we're going to be able to fire her up, and then hopefully we can get the cooling system wrapped up. And I'm thinking this thing will be running before the end of the month, and I'll have it on the road. Probably got to do some brake work on it. I got to get it on the road and drive it down just to see what else is wrong with it. But I know we can get this started and at least driving around this little parking area. So hopefully, let me know if you guys see anything that you saw that might need to be fixed, or have any questions, or if you have any concerns, want to fill me in on anything, please do so. If you notice something about this car that I missed or was completely off on, please fill me in. If you know anything about this this body kit, those rims, any of that stuff. All you guys out there have always been such a help. I want to thank you. Have a happy 4th of July. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have family, be safe, and just have a great time, guys. Have a great weekend. This is Pete from Pete's Carport. Thanks again for joining me.